What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I want to talk to you about Egyptian wheat directly behind me here. The reason I really like planting Egyptian wheat is because you can see behind me we're at the third week of third week of July, and it's already, some areas are right around 7 feet tall. I'm 5'9", so we're right around 7, maybe even 8 feet tall, kind of in this direction here, and it varies throughout the length of this screen here, which I'll show you with some B-roll. But we planted this, it was I think the third weekend of May, and Egyptian wheat roughly takes about 125, 130 days to mature. And what I mean by that is right toward the end of it, it'll actually create a seed head. Now, some people like to plant Egyptian wheat later into the year because they think when it creates that seed head, it makes the Egyptian wheat, the stalks, heavier. So if you get winds and snow and things, it'll push it down or lay it down more. Some cases, maybe, yeah, depending where you're at, if you get a super amount of heavy snowfall. Where I'm at here, really don't have that problem. Yeah, it snows, quite a bit, but Egyptian wheat will stay standing majority of the season, really up until January, mid-January, something like that. Then yeah, it'll start dying off and it'll start falling down, but pretty much by then the deer season's over anyway. So using Egyptian wheat for bedding purposes really doesn't make sense. I've seen a lot of people doing that because, one, if you create a giant stand of Egyptian wheat and create different like pockets in it or something for bedding, well, the bedding's going to be short term, because when it all lays down, then all the deer are just going to bed someplace else. So I don't use Egyptian wheat for bedding. I use it for screening purposes only, whether you're dividing sections of food plots or you're using it for literally a screen to walk down over into your stand. You can make this as long as you want, and use it just for that reason, is to hide behind it to access different parts of your property. Is really not much to it. You want to plant about, recommend is about 10 pounds per acre. I like to do a little bit more than that, maybe about 12 to 14. You can go a little bit thicker on Egyptian wheat. You don't want to go too thick, because then it'll actually shunt itself and you'll get thin stalks and it won't grow as tall. Typically it'll grow about 10 feet tall, depending on the nutrients that's available through the soil and what you're giving it through, whether you're foliar feeding it or you're correcting the soil with lime, fertility levels and all that stuff. Typically on this property, when I plant it, I think the first year we've got it up to about 15 feet. It don't have to be that tall. As long as you're getting up to about 10 feet, 8 to 10 feet, you're okay with it. Now, the requirements for Egyptian wheat for it to be successful is you got to make sure that the pH is correct. If the pH is not right in the soil, you're going to have short stalks and thin stalks, no matter what the nutrition that you actually give to that plant, because if the pH is not right, the plants can't absorb it. So the requirements are you need high nitrogen and potassium. Potassium is actually what gives that stalk the strength and stability to stand when it does get windy. When you do get some snow and heavy rains and things like that, it makes that stalk very tough, so it can withstand the elements. So initially, we follow the soil samples and we lime it and we fertilize it with the correct fertility, granular fertilizer. 30 days later, I actually came back in over top of this screen. I have several other ones here, but I came back over top with a triple 19 granular. I just went one pass this way, one pass this way. It was just a few pounds of it. 30 days after that, we came back and we actually boiler fed this Egyptian wheat with a mix of the micros, Antler Grow, and the NPK Farmer's Touch. We came back and we just went down one side this way and we shot the boom up high to where it could kind of get far back in there as possible, and we just went down the end, came right back around and shot it again. Now I'm pretty much done with this. It's tall enough really already. Now we're just going to let it mature, wait for deer season to let it kind of get that thick stalks so it can withstand the elements. And when you're also, another tip with this when you're planting it, is a deer going to walk through this? Maybe, but probably not. I have seen them do it, but they'll walk through it more if it's not wide. In my experience planting it, you want it anywhere from about, I think the perfect width is going to be about 10 feet, 10 to 12 feet wide. Therefore, you can't see through it, deer can't see through it. It holds itself together, you know, to withstand the elements. It helps with that. And the deer aren't going to be inclined to walk through it. Now, if it's patchy and it's thin and deer can see through that, they'll walk right through it, and it kind of defeats the purpose of it. Now, another tip with this is you don't want to put food inside of the screen. There's a lot of mixes out there, and I actually thought this was, you know, not really a good idea, but I fell, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I fell for it, and I bought mixes that had, you know, like food in it, food value to the deer, and because of marketing and things, I got sucked into that on the buck on the bag seed, and I thought that was a good idea. But the past 5 years, I've gotten away from that, and I don't add food to the screen, because if you're using it for that reason, screening to block yourself from the deer and use it to access your tree stand, the deer could be right here feeding on it. Now, deer do not eat Egyptian wheat. They will eat sorghum, so if you have the sorghum screens, I have seen them eat that on rare occasions, but this Egyptian wheat, I have never seen a deer eat it. I'm not saying they won't, but I just haven't seen it. Maybe somebody has, you know, you guys have seen a deer eat Egyptian wheat. I have not. But as long as you keep that 10, 12 feet wide, feed it the correct nutrition, nitrogen, potassium for stalk strength, keep it wide enough, keep it thick enough, right around 12, 14 pounds per acre. Use it for strips. Just give that Egyptian wheat the correct requirements, and you'll have a successful stand. Don't put food in this. Yeah, we have sunflowers all through here, and I'll throw some B-roll over it. But the sunflowers here, we're basically just using for soil building. You know, those heads on that thing, and the stalks are very thick and high in moisture content, and when we go to till this back in, it'll be good organic matter for the soil. Actually, on both sides of the screen is just massive amounts of sunflowers. It's actually, you know, very cool to look at. So we'll throw some B-roll on that. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave those down below. Give me a thumbs up, and hopefully you guys are subscribed. If not, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.